Hello, welcome to my student support system. In today's class, we will discuss about decubitus ulcer. This lecture is in English, and if you want to study in Hindi, just click on I button and you will get link of Hindi lecture, or you can directly visit to channel my student support system. So what is decubitus ulcer? It is a very common term used in hospitals or in community setting also. Decubitus ulcer, or we can say bed sore or pressure ulcer or pressure sore or bed ulcer. So a lot of names are there, but they all are same. So it is a wound with a localized area of tissue necrosis. It is defined as injury to the tissue due to inadequate blood and oxygen supply caused by exposure to pressure. The pressure causes ischemia, means decreased oxygen supply to the tissue, which is a temporary deficiency of blood supply to the tissue of an organ. But if it is unrelieved, if there is unrelieved pressure for longer time and in combination with shearing or friction, it results in local tissue damage. Later, it causes tissue necrosis when the soft tissue and the blood supply to the tissue or the blood vessels or capillaries, they are compressed between bony prominence and the external pressure. For longer time, the sites become necrosed. These bony prominences or the parts which are at risk for developing bed sores are known as pressure points. And what are the pressure points in our body? We will discuss later on in this lecture. What are the causes or risk factors for decubitus ulcer? Number one is external pressure. Pressure ulcer usually occur over the bony prominences, where the body weight is distributed over a small area without much subcutaneous tissue to cushion the damage to the skin. A pressure ulcer may form in as little as 1 to 2 hours if the patient has not moved or been repositioned to allow blood circulation to the particular area. Second risk factor is friction. Friction occurs when two surfaces rub against each other like this. The friction can damage superficial blood vessels, superficial skin, and the blood vessels which are directly under the skin, capillaries also. The patient who lies on a wrinkled sheet is likely to sustain the friction damage. The skin over the elbows and heels, which are pressure points, are often injured due to friction when the patient tries to move up on the bed using knees and heels and elbows. Next is shear. What is shear? Shear occurs when one layer of tissue slide over another layer due to slanting force. Like this, in this way, when the force is applied in this way, then the skin or subcutaneous tissue, these two layers may tear. Shear separates the skin from underlying tissue. The small blood vessels and capillaries in the area, they are stretched and possibly they tear, resulting in decreased circulation to the tissue cells under the skin. Shear is also seen during Fowler's position when the client slips down. In this way, the client is sitting there and due to gravity, there is shearing in the back. So the pressure areas that are in the back, they become damaged or pressure sore may occur. Immobility. Patients who spend long period of time in bed seated without shifting their body weight properly are at greater risk for the development of pressure ulcer. Nutrition. Nutrition also play a very important role. Protein calorie malnutrition predisposes a person to pressure ulcer because the poorly nourished cells are damaged easily. Next one is moisture. Damp skin is also a risk factor for the pressure ulcer development. A primary source of skin moisture includes perspiration, urine, feces and drainage from the wounds. Prolonged moisture on the skin reduces the skin's resistance to trauma, friction and shear. So here we should be very careful and watchful. Age is, yes, it is also a factor. Older adults or older clients or older patients are at greater risk for pressure ulcer because aging skin is more susceptible to injury. Pressure points. So what are the pressure points? The pressure points are different during different positions. During spine position, pressure points are occipital bone, scapula, vertebra, sacrum, coccyx and calcaneus bone. During prone position, pressure points are frontal bone, mandible, humerus, head of the humerus here, sternum, tuberosity of the pelvis, patella and tibia bone. During lateral position, pressure points are scapula, ribs, iliac crest, greater trochanter of the femur, lateral side of the knees, lateral malleolus and medial malleolus. During Fowler's position, scapula and sacrum becomes the pressure points. Staging of the pressure sore. There are 4 stages of pressure ulcers or bed sores. Number 1, stage 1. In this stage, skin is intact but redness of a localized area usually seen over the bony prominence, like this. The area may be painful, firm, soft, warmer and sometimes cooler as compared to the adjacent tissue. Edema may be present. In stage 2, the skin is damaged. Skin loss is there, which may include both epidermis and dermis. The ulcer is superficial and present clinically as abrasion, blister or a shallow wound. In stage 3, there is full thickness skin loss, means epidermis, dermis both are lost. Subcutaneous fat may be visible, but bone, tendon and muscles, they are not exposed. The depth of stage 3 pressure ulcer varies with the location of the wound. Slough may be present in this stage. And in stage 4, in this stage there is full thickness skin loss along with full thickness subcutaneous tissue loss with exposed bone, tendon and muscles. Slough and scar tissue may be present on some parts of the wound. It often includes sometime undermining and tunnel formation. Wound care. The goal of wound care of pressure sore is to promote tissue repair and regeneration so that skin integrity is restored. Wounds can be treated by leaving them open to air. If the scab is removed accidentally before healing is complete, re-injury occurs and the new delicate cells are exposed. It can also be treated by closed wound care using dressings to keep the wound moist. A moist and sterile environment is necessary during this type of procedure for wound healing. The presence of foreign material or devitalized or injured or infected tissue in a wound may indicate the need for debridement or cutting of this slough tissue to promote wound healing. Mechanical debridement can be done and autolytic debridement is also done with usage of pulsive dressings such as hydrocolloids or transparent film of these which uses body's own enzymes. So these are also known as enzymatic dressing or enzyme dressings, and defense mechanism to loosen or liquefy the necrotized tissue. Attention should be given on prevention of bed sore because prevention is always best. Treatment may be difficult but prevention is very easy. So how you can prevent bed sores? Skin care is very important for the prevention of pressure ulcers. daily inspection of pressure points when the client is in the hospital or the client is bedridden in the community also. For detection of signs of pressure sore is important. If the sign of skin breakdown is seen, especially in the even first stage, prompt treatment should be started. Always keep the skin of the patient dry and clean. Position of the patient should be changed after every 2 hours to remove the pressure from pressure points. Talcum powder and skin cream should be applied to the skin according to the weather condition. Special attention should be given to unconscious or paralyzed patient to protect them from soiling with the urine and stool or any body fluid. Provide soft, smooth and wrinkle-free bedding to the patient. Special mattresses such as air mattress or water mattress can be used to prevent pressure sore in high-risk patients. Use special devices under pressure points such as pillow rings like this heel rings or elbow rings, extra cotton and air cushions. Provide health education to the patient and relatives about causes and prevention of pressure sores. To promote blood circulation, back care and skin care should be provided to the high risk patients with circular motion massage on the pressure points. Thank you students for watching this video. You can subscribe the channel for latest updates and you can like Facebook page also, and for making your notes you can visit mynursingstudents.blogspot.com. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram and join Facebook group Nursing Notes. Thank you. Have a nice day.